Welcome to the Miracles and Wellness Podcast. My name is Clarissa Booker, and I'm a holistic coach and beauty expert. I'm here to empower and motivate you to improve your health and lose weight by adding more whole plant foods into your lifestyle. In addition, kick stress to the curb. So be open to receive, because I believe that miracles are for everyone. Hey there, friend. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So today I just want to talk a little bit about plant-based eating. Like, do you think it's a trend, or do you actually believe it's here? Okay? Because people always have something to say about it. It's like a hot topic, you know? But honestly, when you think about it, it has been around for longer than any of us listening to this podcast has been here. Okay? It's been around longer than you. It's been around longer than me, myself, all right? And everybody that I know. I mean, for like over 2,000 years or so. It's just that here, people are so used to the, quote, standard American diet that people just throw all the other stuff out the window. They're like, well, we don't want to eat that. And people want to do things the easiest way possible for them. So what's the easiest way? Let me see how I can keep whatever I want to eat on my plate. It's pretty much how it goes. So if somebody tells you, hey, eat as much fat as you want to eat, or just pile up more animal products and protein, you might, that's a little bit more simple. I think I'll do that. So it's like you want to do whatever is going to require you to do the least amount of change. But when you think about it, how is that working for most people? Whenever you keep eating like that, what are you going to have? Quick weight loss? That's it, right? And then ultimately, we know that's not going to work. You might gain it back. And then if you're doing something super restrictive, we already know what's going to happen with that. That's not going to last, right? Think about it. And then even if that, let's say you're working, everybody's different, right? Let's say you're working with a trainer and they are promoting you to eat a certain way because they don't believe in plant-based eating. For one, they just might not have that much knowledge on it per se, and if they're used to being a certain way and they're used to be training you a certain way, then we'll to be like, hey, I'm just going to tell my client for them to switch everything out that I've been teaching them for all these years. And they might even know the truth. Okay, and I'm sure somebody will be mad at me, but I'm okay with that. I'm just here to spread the truth and spread the love for what I know to be true. All right? And then what happens with that? So if you are just concerned about weight loss and not your health, sure, go ahead and eat a certain way. But then what's the long-term effects of that, right? It's not going to be beneficial for your health. So whenever I talk about losing weight, it's about the opportunity to improve our health and our well-being. That's what I want to work on. So I'm not going to promote you to eat a whole bunch of food that's going to mess up your arteries, it's going to mess up all your organs, right? And everything is connected. We are very intricate. We are unique. And so why would we want to do that to ourselves? So it just takes a little bit more effort on your part, right? The weight loss just becomes a bonus, right? You wind up cleaning up your body. You have energy. It's sustainable. Nature, what's coming from our earth is more beneficial to us, right? Some people be like, well, just count it and put it in this little app and everything's going to be okay. No, that's not enough, right? Just because something might be a little bit more easy does not make it right. So that goes back to what we're thinking, our thought process. It's so much bigger than what we see, okay? So if you are just used to thinking a certain way, I'm just going to eat this amount of protein, this amount of carbs, and you're just like, I just can't do that. You got to think about the bigger picture. Look at your long-term goals, right? This goes back to us being here for a long period of time, about longevity, about you being there for your family, about you living a long time. It's not going to work. No. It's bigger than that. Okay? But people don't always want to touch on that. You even can think about the people in the blue zones. They are the world's longest living people. They are the healthiest people. And they live off of a plant-based diet. They have community. They're active. They're moving around. Just all of the things that we say make up a wonderful lifestyle. The way they're set up, their environment, all the things when you think about it. They're not running around eating loads and loads of animal products, right? If they do, it's once in a blue moon, right? It's for a special occasion here and there. It's not the opposite, whereas we have a tendency to make it the whole plate, right? And then the broccoli's the garnish. What? What is that? Where does that come from? Like, I've been pretty blessed when it comes to my health. I haven't really had any major health concerns. some anemia here and there in my past, but even whenever I do make sure that I have more plants on my plate, I don't even have that. So I've been pretty blessed in that department, but I've been pretty much eating like this for like 25 years or so. Well, in the past, it was more Presbyterian, so I would eat fish here and there. But now, I don't even really eat fish, and I get a lot of protein because I've always been very athletic. Okay, so that's just been a part of who I am. I started that when I was younger. And then there was always this balance that I went through because I've been in the beauty industry ever since I was a kid. And they don't play. It is cutthroat. They will tell you in or out. It's no coddling going on, right? It's just not. So it's just not the thing where you're trying to consume extra calories. Which is another reason is why I got into the calories when I was younger. But I didn't know what I was doing, right? Because I would just see what's out there mainstream. Because back then, 80s, 90s, which I'm aging myself, it was what was going on. It was like the calories and, all the stuff that was on. There was always something different, right? But I've always pretty much stayed true to how I ate. And I just kind of picked that up. And then I remember when I was in school for healthcare, I was always looking for nutrition information. I was just always drawn to it. But that's just nothing that's really in your curriculum. When you think about it, you have to go and take those extra electives. So I was in there with people who had other majors just because I was so interested in learning, right? But it isn't like plant-based nutrition as a topic. Like as I was talking to my niece a couple of weeks ago, and she's always wanted to be a doctor. So now she's in medical school, and she's so cute, so smart, and she feels discouraged. Not discouraged because of the stress that comes from what she's learning, but because she is vegan and she's like the nutrition chapter. It just talks about the lack of important nutrients and how they do not promote it. And this is just how the curriculum is set up, right? Which goes back to when people are practicing after they're finished, they only know what they know. And because she was already involved and she's very knowledgeable and she likes research, she goes in and she learns things on her own. She wants to make a change, which is so beautiful. I'm so proud of her, right? Because she's standing up for what she knows to be true. So she wants to help people. This has to change. As more people come together and spread this message about what's true, about how we can heal, then it will be less people sick. So I believe the people who say this is a trend, they just don't have the knowledge. If they knew better, then we hope that they would do better. Where sometimes you don't want to be like, I didn't know. And there's nothing wrong with saying you didn't know, because we all learn every single day. Every last one of us should be learning. It should not stop. Life is about growing. So there's nothing wrong with being like, I made a mistake, or let's try this different thing, however you want to word it. But not to allow yourself to get stuck in a place where you just don't want to do it. And if you don't want to cook, you hire somebody to cook. It's very simple. Just don't make any excuses for your behavior, because it's you doing whatever it is that's getting done. This is compassion with tough love sprinkled on top. Little sprinkles, little glitter. So you can think about the people that are close to you that are not well. How many of them are sick from a lifestyle disease, something that is preventable or that can be reversed? I'm going to bet quite a few, because a lot of things are. Like Father's Day. I miss my dad. And I remember when I was a little kid how we would just walk around the streets of New York and he would just love to have like pretzels with like the mustard on it from like the little pretzel stands and like Frank's. Or sometimes we get like slices of pizza. And this is just like normal stuff that you do, right? But it was all about the conversation. I just love spending time with my dad, right? Just talking to him and just all the things, And sometimes we like to use food as a centerpiece for gatherings. But it is not about the food. It's about the love. It's about the community. It's about spending time with your loved ones and just bonding, because we are humans and we want to be around other people. And it's perfectly normal. But it's not about the food. The food is just something that brings you together, right? But you could swap out items of food. And my dad would like to travel. And look, he would go anywhere for a steak. he was like, oh, they got good reviews? We gonna check them out right there. And we would just go. And it would just be like how it was with him. He just loved some good steak. But what does that do? It's loaded with saturated fat, right? It's loaded with all these things that we don't need. And now he's not here anymore. And I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad or sad or anything like this. This is just to let you know what it's doing. So I can't have this conversation with him about improving his health right now because he's gone. And he left at a young age of 66, right? And that can happen to anybody. I'm not saying it's going to happen or what's not going to happen. I'm not God. I cannot predict the future. But what I can do is hope that I help you make a little different decision or a big decision, whatever that is, or just to be the change. You can help be the change. So, hey, listen, you have control over your life. You have the power. So I come on here and I'm calling you queens and telling you got power. You do. And I do this because we need to talk to each other in that manner. There's so much negativity out there. It's unnecessary. We need to love upon one another and lift each other up without wanting anything sometimes. Tell somebody they look good. Give somebody a compliment. This is why I'm like, hey, smile. I'm not saying to be fake if you're not feeling good, because I tell you, I get on here and cry. I really will. I go cry, meditate, get it out, journal, do all the things. You got to smile sometimes because you know what? It could reflect inward. You can just give yourself a good cry, get it out if you're going through something and be like, I got this, because you do. Talk to yourself in a positive way. It does help, right? And also who you're around helps. But I know that you are powerful and you have the capacity to change your life. It can happen. And if you're thinking to yourself, you don't really know any plant-based professionals, there are plant-based professionals out there, right? And if you're talking to somebody and they don't know, go find yourself a new person. So if you are like, I'm about to go plant-based and your doctor does not agree, you always can get another opinion. There are plant-based physicians out there, functional medicine doctors, personal trainers that are plant-based. There is a whole community out there for you, love. There really is. I know you got it. Ask God and he will lead you to the right people. And if you listen to this whole episode, that speaks volumes right there. You are ready. So after you finish listening to this episode, take a moment, get your piece of paper and write down what you are going to do differently just to change your life a little bit. Just one single step. It doesn't have to be big. Just write down at least one thing that you're going to do for your life to move in a new direction. And if you're already on the path, just think of something else or just think of how you could further expand. But find something. And if for some reason you are not giving yourself permission to think of something for yourself, allow yourself that. But you always can start with helping someone else. Doing something wonderful for somebody else. That's always a good feeling as well. But don't ever forget that you deserve that for yourself. Okay? It's always a pleasure to be here with you. I so enjoy talking to you. And if you or yourself would like to start a plant-based journey, if you're not yet started, please pick up this free download called Kickstart Plants, bit.ly/Kickstart Plants, and it is also in the show notes down below. Have a blessed day. Until next time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for coming by. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite platform and also don't forget to leave a written review, as well as share this episode. That's how we spread the message.